it's Wyatt with noecho.net with a new interview with band Chicago from Chicago band VOW. They have a new release, a debut EP coming out on Iron Fortress Records on the 15th, which is Friday and at this time. So a lot to talk about. So I guess without too much story up front, I have Andy. Sorry, oh my God. Andy and Aaron with me here. Hi, guys. Andy, I understand vocalist. Aaron, what do you do?
I play guitar.
Play guitar. Okay. So great. Got what you need. So this is listening to this release. It's very much a Swedish death metal thrill of riffs and good times. So can you tell me about how we got to the EP, the name of it? It's being released on cassette, CD, and vinyl through Iron Fortress Records. Can you just tell me about how we got here?
You want to go, Andy?
Sure, yeah. So Death Will Be My Bridge, debut EP. Funny little lore. The title for this EP was actually something that we were going to maybe use for our split with Birdlaw, who's another Chicago band that we had a split with last year, but they weren't vibing with it, so we put that in our back pocket. And I don't know, not that we only had one good title for so long, but just when we were putting together the songs and the lyrics were coming together, I just started to feel like it was really fitting for the themes of the record, which, I mean, we've talked a little bit about in other interviews, but a lot of stuff about loss and transformation and kind of like redemption or something like that. So it just started speaking to me again. And it sounds like a dark, mournful title, which it is in a way, but I do think that there's a certain element of like positivity and like rebirth through like the kinetic energy of the record that I think it speaks to. But that's just talking about the title.
Okay, well, I listened to the EP just to tell everyone what it's about, to tell No Echo. This is a very much a Swedish melodic death metal record. There's awesome breakdowns, there's intense parts, there's melodies, there's a beautiful interlude. So I guess where do you draw your influences from? Swedish death is a huge realm there. I guess what bands do you draw from in that aspect?
I would say for this record specifically, it was kind of the usual suspects, but also especially with this record being a bit of a transition, we're trying to, our first couple releases were kind of more like metalcore, hardcore centric. And I always felt a good example of a band that bridged that gap was Darkest Hour. A band I've loved since I was a kid, like one of the first loves of mine for like metal music, really. So they were kind of an inspiration on how to approach that. And then other bands that we draw pretty heavily from, at least me personally, I love like Eucharist, kind of just like that emotional, kind of dire sound, like bunch of the bands from that era. But those are kind of like the two big ones, I would say, at least for this record and a lot of the stuff we're working on.
Oh yeah, I definitely hear the Darkest Hour influence with the riffing, and especially how it transitions into the heavier parts. I definitely hear Darkest Hour in there, and this, what's so refreshing to hear, especially from Iron Fortress, a melodic death metal sound coming from Chicago. Aaron, where are you located in Chicago?
I'm north side in a area called Ravenswood.
Okay.
But we all used to live on the west side. We just kind of moved around a bit. I think Andy's back on the west side now.
Okay, yeah. Andy says he was close to Logan Square.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, I lived in Chicago about, gosh, it was 19 years ago. So
Nice.
that the whole landscape has changed since then. I guess what is the Chicago scene like now? Being we're living in a modern world. Chicago is much different than 20 years ago. So what's it like, the metal scene now? Has it been welcoming with their style of melodic death metal?
I mean, to be honest, we play with mostly hardcore bands because that's just kind of like who our friends are and who we came up with. We don't really play a lot of metal shows, and hopefully that'll change soon. I don't know, but yeah, I just feel like it's just that's kind of the vibe. The, there's not really like a DIY metal scene, so to speak, but there's bands that participate in the DIY like hardcore space as well. But then people like Anthony and Noah from Gordon Brace, they're trying to book more metal centric DIY shows that aren't at like places like Reggie's or you know.
Right. Yeah. The Reggie's was the only place I would go to for metal shows.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
yeah, that and the Empty Bottle. Besides that, I mean, there was some out. That was it, I guess.
Yeah, we booked our release show at Empty Bottle, and they're pretty open to having shows like that. So kind
That's
of
awesome. Yeah, for sure. Um, so, yeah, I mean, there's going to be vinyl, CD. Are there cassettes? Do you know?
we have cassettes at shows, but
Okay.
Ben's not going to sell them online.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I mean, good come out to see you to get a cassette, I guess, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, for
So, yeah, definitely. I guess like listening to the EP, the songs are on the longer side. Is there, I guess a formula to that? I mean, do you want them to be every single one just be this epic? Like every single song is this epic journey, and they're so good and so encapitalized in that track length. Is there a secret to it? I guess. I mean, do you guys do that on purpose?
No, I think just with this one, we were just like trying to go all out and just really do something crazy. But I'm glad that you enjoy it. We're trying like we have almost a full new record written, and it's way more focused. I would say like it's still got that epic vibe to it, but I feel like the ideas and the structures are kind of like less roller coastery and more like to the throat.
Okay.
Excited to play some of that stuff too, which we will be playing at our upcoming shows.
Okay. Is there any release shows planned? It comes out Friday. Any shows coming up to kind of push the release?
Uh,
Yeah, we got a show at the Empty Bottle show that Aaron mentioned. That's on June 6th. We're
mm,
doing a listening party at Meteor Gem. I don't know if that was probably not around when you were in Chicago, but it's like the record store for metalheads in Chicago. So we're doing a little listening party there June 5th, and we got the record release show at Empty Bottle. And then we're going on tour for like 12 days down to the like southeast US because our other guitarist Frankie is from Florida, and so we're just having a little sojourn down to his like homeland because he thinks,
Well,
yeah,
it'd
we
be
go.
nice to get out of the Midwest for
True,
sure.
true, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I mean, Empty Bottle is such a cool venue. So um, coming out, you have a tour planned, 12-day tour. So I mean, it looks like you guys have set things up, or you have the EP coming out, you have a tour coming up. What is next? You said you have enough material for a full length. Can we expect a full length soon? Is that in the horizon?
um, I don't know. What would you say? It's like maybe 75% there, Andy, written
Yeah,
like
I
songs.
yeah, songs are there. We're just learning, perfecting them. I feel like the last few releases that we've done, there's been a weird unspoken. We always just work ourselves into deadlines in a way, and crunches. So while we want to record, I would say like by the end of the year, be in the studio, like doing stuff. I think we are trying to be a lot more intentional this time with the song structures and the performances.
Lock it in, just
Yeah,
fucking lock it in, make sure it's perfect.
I mean, you guys sound locked in. You guys got it.
thank you.
The EP, it sounds great. The opening track especially is really captivating and really grabs you. And I mean, those riffs, man, dude, Aaron, man, like the Darkest Hour influence is there, and they have that speed and that tempo and that aggression that I love, and that progression to
Yeah.
something very heavy is there, and that's awesome. And you can hear
Thank
that
you.
in this EP. So if you're a fan of melodic death metal, a fan of Darkest Hour, that style of like it's so good. You guys have nailed it, and it's so refreshing to hear because everyone wants to out brutalize everybody. Like that's just like the goal, to out brutalize the next guy. So doing
Yeah.
melodic death metal is really refreshing to hear. So I guess do you have other peers that have similar sound, or is it? I said you guys are mostly playing with hardcore bands in Chicago. I mean, there's not a lot of. I mean, is there a metal scene? I guess there never was when I was there. Really, there was, but it wasn't huge.
I can't really speak on the scene as a whole because it's a big city, but there's a
Right.
lot of great metal bands and projects from here. I don't think it doesn't feel like super unified necessarily. But yeah, hopefully that'll change soon. I know like I have a couple friends who want to start more like death metal orientated bands, or they're in the act of doing so. Yeah, I think the main draw in Chicago is like hardcore. That's where the most baller shows go down, like it's packed hardcore shows with kids, young people. And we're a little bit older, so maybe it's a generational thing too.
Well, I guess I guess the kids like the hardcore.
Yeah. I like the hardcore too. It's just not like what I want to play necessarily.
Right.
There is metal in Chicago. I just feel like I was gonna say like I don't know if there's another melodic death metal band in Chicago. Like I struggle to really like say that for sure, because I feel like with a lot of these bands that you can think of a style of this like heavy music we're all playing and immediately think of the Chicago band that represents that. And I think that kind of creates this weird community in a way, because I mean, we're also like so supportive of each other being this kind of specific freak that there is like a camaraderie to like knowing each other are really in their lane and really trying to push something original. So I guess I was just gonna say like there is a scene here. It's just the bands are so specific and different, which is amazing and awesome and really fun to go to shows when everyone's so different. But yeah, it is a bit of a strange like it's this weird
pot.
like
well,
like ghost like thing.
Well, you know what I
went on
love
tour
about
with,
Chicago, living there. Everyone, not everyone, but most people are a transplant from somewhere.
Sure.
From somewhere else. They end up in the city, and then like here they are. So I see why there's like all these different influences and different types of bands there. It's not just one metal scene or one hardcore scene, I guess. So I, playing shows in Chicago, living in the city, do you have a practice space, or I mean, how do you guys get together?
Yeah, we have a practice space in a Ukrainian village, so it's pretty centralized, and 3 of us drive, so we can haul gear and shit when we need to.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, definitely. And that Meteor Gem, yeah, that wasn't around when I was there. There was another metal store in Lakeview, and I forgot what it's called. But it wasn't that good. I don't ever remember going there and be like, I found this or that. But
Meteor Gem's sick. If you're ever here, you should go. It's it's extreme metal centric. Like
I check him out online. The dude sells online, and he's got some good stuff for sure. Um, yeah, but I guess coming up here, you have the release coming out this Friday. Um, it's going to be CD, and then you have cassettes and vinyl. I know you can get the CD and vinyl at ironfortress.com. You can pre-order it now, and it'll be available at Friday the 15th. Um, I I guess, guys, do you have any favorite food spots? I dealt a lot with eateries. I worked and lived in Bucktown and Wicker Park. So, do you guys, what Chicago food do you guys like?
I just shout out Red Hot Ranch. The cheeseburgers there are so good, and they're still affordable. Like, you get a good cheeseburger, it's like $7 with fries. So
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't know where else in the fucking major city you could find a deal like that, and it's really good.
My partner is vegan, so not to shout out vegan spots, but Handlebar is the best of both worlds. You can go there and still kind of feel disgusting about what you just ate, but it's so good. And there's a lot of good vegan ice cream in Chicago. We'll also just say that too.
Well, the Handlebar. I think I've been there. Yeah, great spot for sure. Well, guys, do you have anything you want to add? Any shout outs you want to make?
Shout out Ben, I suppose, for being willing to work with us. Ben at Iron Fortress. Shout out Gordon Brace and Anthony. Those are our brothers, and they put us on pretty early, and they're an amazing death metal band from here that everyone should check out.
Also on Iron Fortress.
Also on Iron Fortress, and yeah.
Also, shout out. He's on the credits, but Greg Levis was who recorded us at Olmsted Studios. He really saved this project when it was feeling a little dark for a little bit, and he's just a real one. So shout out Greg. He was great.
He was able to record us within about 1 to 2 days notice, so it wouldn't be possible without him.
Well, wow. I mean, it sounds great. If the production is definitely what you want in that Swedish sound. So it's there. And I think if anyone listens to 5 seconds of your songs, they will realize that. So I want to thank you guys for joining me for No Echo and our interview band spotlight with VOW. Be sure to check out their music, their debut EP, Death Will Be My Bridge. Will be out on May 15th, which is Friday. CD, vinyl, and the band has cassettes. Just check it out. Thank you for joining me for No Echo. Have a great night. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Wyatt.
Thank you.